Welcome back, everybody. Hey, Chuck just reminded me of something as we're on break, that it's 18 years ago today that, as Mike Kelton put it, we lost Dale Earnhardt.
Yeah.
You know, I was at that race.
February 18th.
Yeah, I was at that race, and I had him on the scanner, because I have a 100-channel scanner, so I have every driver, like whatever their number is, that's their channel. I had MRN, I had NASCAR, the 3 NASCAR channels, timing and scoring. And most of the race, I kind of just let it scan who's ever talking. But then I had, Michael and Dale Jr. run a 1-2 with Dale third. I said, oh, let me just plug into Dale. So I hit number 3, and I'm listening. And he's kind of going, like yelling to get with that and tell him to pick a line, And he's going down the backstretch, and he's like going nuts, yelling at him. He goes into 3, and there's silence. It was like an eerie silence. I says, why did he stop talking? He stopped talking. So I switched to Michael, and he's not really saying anything. And then I switched to Dale Jr. He's not really saying anything, but every once in a while they'd say something. And then the race ends, and I see the wreck. And I've seen Dale Sr. in worse wrecks than that, and he just dusted himself off.
Got back in the car.
Yeah, and I see Kenny Schrader get out, put his head in, and walk away, and next thing you know, there's all kinds of stuff going on, and they whisked him away in an ambulance, and then they covered the car with the tarp. And all my years racing, I know that's not a good sign.
Yeah, that's not a good sign.
And it got real quiet, and Victory Lane didn't really happen the way it normally did. And we were out to dinner, we left the racetrack, went out to dinner, and we picked up my kids, and they weren't at the race, but they were at their grandfather's, and we're sitting there at the restaurant, and the waitress goes, oh, it really stinks that Dale Earnhardt got killed. And my daughter, that was her guy, one of my daughters, that was her guy. She bought Dale Earnhardt stuff all week long, and she's like, starts crying. And we're like, yo, have some compassion,
They don't know.
It kind of just ruined it.
Yeah, I remember after the race, I was cleaning up. I had a little party there, and we're cleaning up, and I see Mike Helton on the TV, and I'm like, the race is way over.
Yeah.
And I see him on the TV, and the cameras are flashing. I'm like, what the hell's going on here? And I turn it up, and I heard we lost Dale Earnhardt, and I'm like, that was like nothing. I've seen wrecks. Yeah. That's nothing. That's like a big deal. So, big deal. Toss it on the truck. Let's take it home. Yeah. That was no big deal. Yeah. Unbelievable. I was, like everybody else, I was totally blown.
It's
unbelievable.
It's one of those things you just never forget.
No, you're not going to forget that.
And then you kind of question, should I really be doing this? People really get killed, It's not like, on a video game, you just hit the reset button,
That's why I tell people, you had the Super Bowl, okay, well, awesome, huh? But, you got 101,000 people in the stands here from from all 50 states, from 45 countries. Right. And really, this is the only sport where you could get killed. Right. Yeah. I mean, unless it's a freak accident. Right. This is the only sport where you could get killed. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And thank God it's been... Doesn't happen as often as it used to. Few and far between. I've seen a couple of incidents where drivers got killed. And one got killed on my watch, Tom Baldwin. Yeah. When I was I was race director in the modifieds. I remember that one too. That's not another good day. And him and I were just talking that day about starting a new modified series. Because he was tired of the cost of racing a modified in NASCAR, that the cost kept going up and the purses kept going down. So he was going to start his own series. I guess he did. He went up to heaven and started one. He did. He did. But anyway, we got the results for the Xfinity race, which was more like a parade with music, in my opinion. And anybody else who's watched it or I spoke to said the same thing.
It was just single file, boom, boom, boom. So here we go with the Xfinity guys. Michael Annett was the winner there. Justin Allgaier second. Brandon Jones third. Ryan Saig fourth. Austin Cindric fifth. Christopher Bell sixth. Jeff Green is seventh. John Hunter Nemechek was eighth. Tyler Reddick ninth. And Chase Elliott rounding out the top 10. Like I said, it was just a parade with no music. The Gander Outdoor Truck Series, when did they change that? I've been calling it the Camper World Series like a long time.
I'm calling it Craftsman Truck Series.
Oh, yeah. When they had the halfway break so the guys could rest.
Well, listen, drop $20 down. It could be the Inravio Truck Series.
There you go.
For, what are we talking, $30 a year?
Oh, man. So the Gander Outdoor Series truck, Gander Outdoors Truck Series, say that 3 times fast. Austin Hill was the winner there. Grant Enfinger was second. Ross Chastain was third. Spencer Boyd fourth. Matt Crafton fifth. John Rium was sixth. I hope I said that right. Timothy Peters was seventh. Angela Ruch, formerly Angela Cope, letting you guys figure that one out. Austin Wayne Self was ninth, and Stuart Friesen, his owner, was a guest on our show, in the anniversary show. Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah. Yep. So we had some fun with him.
Yeah.
So.
That's right. Glenn Sullivan.
Glenn Sullivan.
Right? Yep.
He calls him Stewie.
Stewie.
Yeah. But the truck race was a wreck fest as well. It was a wreck fest. And that seems, I don't feel, in my opinion, the truck should be on anything bigger than 1.5 miles. Just don't think they should. Because anywhere they race that's bigger than 1.5 miles is a wreck fest.
Yeah. Well, not for, for any other reason, but we've raced. And
Yeah.
I think when we spent the most money on our cars was when we wrecked them and we had to fix them.
Yeah.
And I think if we didn't have to do that,
Right.
I think that would bring the cost of racing down, wouldn't it?
I'm thinking.
Right,
But,
I mean,
this is what happens in racing, and not only in the short tracks across the country, but also in the top series. If Goggles Paisano shows up and puts out apple juice in his gas tank and wins, then next week everybody buys a barrel of apple juice.
Well, that's what's going to happen. But you remember when I was, this close to winning.
Yeah.
And I had gotten a new car. And it was interesting because every week we'd put it on a trailer, we'd take it home, we didn't have to do anything to it.
Yeah.
We'd bring it back to the track, and it was kind of weird that we didn't have to spend 40 or 50 hours at the shop working on the thing.
Yeah.
And we'd put it back on the track and do the adjustments, put the tires on it, go out and be this close again.
Yeah.
And put it back. And it was like, wow. And then all of a sudden, something got bent and it wasn't handling as it used to.
Nope.
And then all of a sudden now we were doing work to it again.
Yeah.
But that's you don't realize how that's not necessarily part of racing. If you bring the car back in one piece, and it's handling well, you just put it on the trailer. I don't even think we pulled it off the trailer, to be honest with you.
Wow.
A couple of times there.
I had one season, that whole season, 1994, did not drive my car off the track without assistance of a hook.
Really?
Every race. Every race. And it wasn't always like from a crash. I'd have like a radiator hose blow, or I'd have a tire fall off, or I'd lose brakes or something.
Not just a tire go down, but a tire fall off.
Oh, off, yeah. Yeah. Well, the time I'm online, I'm driving Sean Hansen's car, I'm online, and everybody walking past my car is looking at it. They're looking at it. Like, I said, I know it's an okay-looking car, but not that everybody that's going to walk by. Finally, some guy walks up to me and says, you might want to attach your shocks. I says, excuse me? Now we're getting the signal to start. I jump out of the car.
Everybody's walking by smelling pizza.
And my shocks
That's an inside joke,
not
by the way.
attached because my car owner and / crew chief thought it would look better if the back end was jacked up a little bit.
So he took the shocks off.
Well, he dialed them right out. He just screwed them right out. Oh yeah, oh yeah.
It's always a good one.
Oh, the good old days.
That's right. You get out on the track and realize, we didn't put fuel in the car. And then as they flash the light to go green for the hot laps, and you go,
Oh yeah,
done that one.
yeah, oh yeah. We had some fun not or driving his car sometime, but
you always get those stupid things too. I mean, we had a switch go bad that shut the ignition off. You know, while we're waiting to go out on the track, just all of a sudden shut off, and the switch was dead, and we missed that one.
Oh, okay.
Because of the switch. What are we talking? $3, if that?
Yeah.
For an on-off switch?
It's always the cheap part that puts you out.
Yeah.
You know, not your $10,000 motor that gives you a problem.
Well, let's not say that either, because we had that happen too. Turn 4, running first in the Consi. Last lap, ran really good. Didn't make it across that start-finish line. Yeah, so we lost that motor. So.
Yeah.
But we had that happen.
You know, you hear so many stories about these fluke things, and I know a guy who, you didn't have like a shop or anything.
We all know a guy, Joe.
Yeah, we all know a guy or two, and he has his car parked in his driveway, his race car, up on, jack stands or whatever, and his son's out there having a catch, throwing a ball with his friends, and they throw it, doing that, throw it in the air, you catch it, you try to do a fancy catch.
Knocks the car off the jack stands.
The ball goes up, bounces on the sidewalk, and they can't find it. They look in the bushes, they look in the street. The ball is missing. It's a baseball, a hard ball. Missing. M-I-A.
It's in the muffler somewhere.
Worse. The kid's dad goes out racing, and he's cruising along, going on, boom, 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 and he got the checker flag's waving, and he got a shot in the back so hard that his foot came off the gas, and when he went to hit the gas again, there was something under the gas. It wouldn't go down. It was the baseball. Yeah.
That's the water bottle trick.
Yeah.
The water bottle comes out of the holder,
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Because the way you're strapped in,
you can't get to
nothing. You can't even reach anything.
You can't even see it.
No, you could barely reach the steering wheel sometimes. But yeah.
Yeah, some of those guys have the steering wheel right here. I don't get that. I don't get that.
No. A little bit out of it. Like your elbows bent a little bit.
Yeah, you want it out there,
When I was younger and stronger, I could do this all day long. But I'm old now, so I need it a little closer.
Everybody knew when I was racing, because my back never hit the seat, apparently.
Really?
Yeah, because I'd always sit up.
Wow.
He goes, I know when you're getting into it, because I wouldn't see a space between your back and the seat.
So I'm thinking...
I would pull the belts right out.
I'm thinking your belts were a little loose if you could do that.
You think, right?
Yeah.
But I would just grab that wheel and pull it. I was just like, too much.
Yeah, we used to make the guys before, when we'd be assigned to a car or a truck when I was working in NASCAR series. And you'd have to go up to them and you'd go like this, you go. So they'd have to pull the steering wheel, make sure it's locked, and they'd have to try to go forward. And as long as they did that, I'd go like that. And then the tie would say, inspectors are all, drivers ready to participate, put your hand up, and then it was on you if they weren't in right. Oh, yeah. But what are you going to do? What are you doing? I think what we could do while we're sitting here, got a lot of people in Facebook Live. I would thank everybody for coming into Facebook Live.
Yeah, absolutely.
I would have notified more of my friends, but I got a little message in my ear that they only saw the top of my head because it looked like I was
a teenager playing a video game.
Yeah. But I really wasn't. I was just trying to get people. Anyway, the K&M Pro Series East.
He was ordering a pizza.
Yeah, who's ordering a pizza? Was at New Smyrna for their opener at the New Smyrna 175. So I guess they didn't get a sponsor for that event when they name it after the racetrack.
Probably not.
Yeah, probably not. But the K&M Pro Series had their opener, and I think we have an image for that, those results. But yeah, we do. Look at that. Derek Kraus was the winner. Ty Gibbs second. Brandon McReynolds third. Sam Mayer was fourth. Anthony Sergi was fifth. Colin Garrett sixth. Spencer Davis seventh. Ruben Garcia Jr. was 8th, Drew Dollar was 9th, and Connor Hall rounded out the top 10. They will be in Bristol next Saturday, April 6th. And the New Smyrna qualifying was canceled due to precipitation.
Precipitation?
Yeah. We used to call that rain.
We used to call that rain, right?
Yeah, precipitation.
I don't think that's politically correct anymore.
But rain, not precipitation, postponed the Sunday night's race at New Smyrna, forcing a Monday night race. So they got that in, and it was all good, all good. And,
it's all about safety.
It is. It really is.
It's really what it boils down to. As long as everybody can get home and do their thing.
Yeah, and it's also been announced NASCAR and NBCSN will air 37 races for the K&N Pro Series and the Whelen Modified Tour combined.
Nice.
So that's big. And with the modifieds, it's more than half this schedule. I'm going to say it's three-quarters. The Myrtle Beach race, South Boston, Wall, Seekonk, New Hampshire, the All-Star race, and the regular race. The Thompson Motorsports Park, Oswego, Riverhead, Stafford, and Thompson. So they're just about everywhere they go is going to be televised.
Great.
All right, and the K&N Pro Series East and West, there'll be scattered events throughout the country for them as well. So that's always a good one. A nice series, the K&N Pro Series. I say that, you know, K&N is the K&N filters, but tongue-in-cheek, it's called the Kids and Nephews series because it's the Monster Energy Cup teams putting cars in that series as a development.
As a development group.
As a development. And there's really nothing wrong with that, I guess. You got to play within the rules, and the rules say you can do it.
That's right.
So,
and it works.
and then speaking of the K&N Pro Series, we received a press release. We don't normally get press releases, but we received a press release, and I think we're going to bring that up in a second. I think I can remember it. Anyway, we got a press release. The Visconti Motorsports team with Brandon McReynolds driving finished third in the Speed Week season opener at New Smyrna Speedway in New Smyrna, Florida. The number 74 Reichert Group Chevrolet was P1 in practice times after the first practice, but had to start third due to qualifying getting rained out. It was the third top three finish in the last three races. First at New Hampshire, second at Dover, and third this past week at New Smyrna. When the K&N race was over, the team loaded up their hauler and drove to North Carolina to unload and reload the NASCAR Gander outdoor truck to make it back to Daytona for inspection on Wednesday. And then the SunWest Construction number 42 Chevy Silverado, driven by Robbie Lyons, raced his way into the field by qualifying 20th. And during the qualifying run, the truck had an electrical fire that had to be repaired, and Robbie had to start 30th due to an unapproved adjustment on the truck. An early race flat tire that resulted in the truck hitting the wall relegated the team to a 30th place finish. The Visconti Motorsports team with Brandon McReynolds driving will race the K&N car at Bristol April 6th and field a truck for Brandon at the Dover International Speedway on May 3rd. So that's one of our guys. That is one of our guys, and they had a good run. Visconti Motorsports is moving up the ranks quickly.
Good.
And is being noticed in a good way. I mean, you don't want to be noticed in a bad way.
That's right.
And he's doing very well. I think we have a couple of pictures that we could show you of the truck and the K&N Pro Series. The new sponsorship, and it's really not the new sponsor, it's the same sponsorship under their corporate name. The Reichert Group is on the K&N Pro Series East car. It's with Brandon McReynolds, son of Larry McReynolds, who is Dale Earnhardt's crew chief when he won the Daytona 500. And then Robbie Lyons in the Gander Outdoor Truck Series truck. So who would have thought? Who would have thought? Remember all the pushback he got when he said he was doing this?
Well, you know, it's a tough step. It's tough. It's a hard step to go racing on that type of a level, let alone you know, doing a K&N series car and a truck as well. Mm-hmm. You know, it's a lot of you know, it's a lot of work for two vehicles like that.
Yeah, you know.
But great, it's more power to him. I mean, he's doing great, and that's good. That's exactly what you want. Right. You want somebody who's going to be great right out of the box, and hopefully he's going to make it higher up in the series.
Oh, without a doubt. There's no doubt in my mind. He's networked himself with people, and people have networked themselves with him, that there's no end to what could happen with this team and with the backing they have with their sponsors and the sponsorship program and their marketing people. I mean, this has now become a full-time operation, and it's more than going to your local, gas station or parts place and getting a sponsor, so you can buy a couple of tires. This is, you're going to get a sponsor that's going to cover your operation for the season.
Of course.
And I was talking to some people just this weekend, and we came out with, and through factual numbers, that I don't want to say the lesser teams, but the teams that smaller budgets still need at least $20 million plus for the season to operate, where you have a Joe Gibbs Racing or Hendrick Motorsports or Chip Ganassi or even Stuart Haas. They have a budget around $60 million a year to go racing.
Well, we're looking at $1 million a race for the top level.
Right.
And how many races is the K&N running?
They're running about 15.
All right, so about $1 million a race too.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, that's seems a little high.
Yeah.
But based on what they're doing and the traveling they're doing and the people they have to have in place in order to be competitive, that's where you need to be.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. You know, when you're at that level, and I even say when you're in the touring series, whether you're in a Whelen Modified or a K&N Pro Series car, you know, you're at a professional level. You're not just doing this on Saturday nights to go have a couple of beers after. And
it becomes a real business.
It becomes a real business. And John Visconti and I spoke about that recently, that it is a business, and you have to approach it like a business, and you have to be a businessman to do this. And you have to make decisions that are based on sound business principles. You can't just say, oh, yeah, come along, yeah, we'll find you a spot on the crew. No, you're going there to win and perform, and you got to go there with the best people, and maybe some feelings get hurt along the way. But it's a business. You know, like in your business or my business, if they can't do the job, you got to get somebody who can.
Absolutely.
And it's just that simple.
Yeah, it's not a volunteer organization.
No. You know, if you want to sweep the floors in the shop, maybe.
There you go. So it's a job for you.
I could do that. I definitely could do that.
Remember, with a push broom, you push, you don't pull.
You do? What about the ones you go back and forth that the witches ride?
That's a different broom.
That's a different broom.
Oh, yeah.
And it would take a long time to sweep a 100,000 square foot shop, wouldn't it?
That's right.
Yeah.
But you're there for 40 hours, 50 hours a week, so enjoy.
Get overtime and benefits?
Keep sweeping. There's no benefits. Plenty of overtime, no benefits.
You get the benefit of the doubt at least?
No.
Not even that?
No. You're the first guy in, last guy out.
Yeah, pretty much. You make the coffee and you clean the pot, too.
That's it. You do it all.
We're going to take a break. When we come back, we have some what I call stuff to talk about when we come back.
Hi, I'm Remington.
I'm Emerson.
And I'm Sebastian.
We're Palais Royale, and you're watching Inravio TV.
There we go.
The world of advertising has changed. Radio, TV, and newspaper revenues have declined drastically. Why? Because businesses have realized that advertising return on investment isn't what it used to be. So what can we do about it? Well, that's easy. Advertise online. Own a local restaurant, real estate agency, or even a national retail chain? Whatever your business, Inravio can get your message out there, and we can do it at a fraction of the cost. Call today and see the difference for yourself. This isn't TV. This isn't radio. This is Inravio.com.
Hey, this is Chris Les Jake, and if Inravio.com spots you at an event wearing this bracelet, they will give you $100.
Village Music Shop of Mastic. 1-800-HEY-DUDE, your full-service store with personalized attention, school band instrument rentals and sales, music instruction on all instruments for all styles and age groups, for guitars, drums, amplifiers, PA systems, and accessories. It's Village Music Shop, 1495 Montauk Highway in Mastic. Call 1-800-HEY-DUDE or go to villagemusicshop.com.
Hi, this is Mike Jarecki from My Race News, and you're watching the Inravio TV network.
Welcome back, everybody.
Welcome back to the shoe.
You knew the commercials go pretty fast sometimes.
Yeah, the show goes pretty fast because we talk a lot.
Yeah. Yeah. Remember in the old days we did 2 hours?
I remember those days. Yeah, all the shows did 2 hours. I remember back in the day we had 26 shows.
Remember?
We had all kinds of shows.
All kinds of shows.
Yeah, we kind of pared it down a little bit.
Yeah. And the show host was also the board guy and the telephone guy.
Yeah, at some points, some shows.
Yeah.
We used to do that.
Remember, you always told me, you got to get in the sweet spot. And I'm no, the wrong thing.
With the mic thing.
Oh,
So
man.
we knew right away that wasn't going to work out.
No, I'm not. I'm like technically challenged.
That's why we got a whole team of people now.
Exactly, a whole staff.
Because you're lucky you can sit here and talk.
Yeah. Well,
Let
pretty
alone
much
start working buttons
all I
and
got to
switches
do
and
is when I
knobs.
come here is put my tie on.
That's it. Pay no attention to that man behind the
put
curtain.
my tie on. You know, I can't believe we don't have a makeup person, but
That's the only thing we don't have, I think.
yeah, we don't. I have a dressing
We
room.
got the control room. We got everybody in the control room.
Nice dressing room inside with a nice mirror,
Dressing room.
lights.
Green room.
Yeah, green room, right? A room for snacks and stuff. A conference room. We have
for
meetings.
Snacks, conference room.
Yeah, it's all good. But anyway,
Well, it's like kind of like we said, right?
Yeah.
Once you get to a certain level, it's a business.
it's a business. Yeah.
You know, it's you're not
No, well. So I want to talk about some stuff.
stuff.
Now, you remember in the fall, we were talking about
Fall of what?
of the last year, there was like NASCAR was for sale, and everybody was trying to figure out who was going to buy it and who had the money.
Tell me you plunked down your Visa card.
No, I don't want to. I can't give up my whole annuity. What if I lived to 90?
Your whole annuity. You think that would have made it happen?
You know?
Your whole annuity probably wouldn't pay the lawyers for the sale.
Yeah, really. So
That's funny though. I like
the
it.
rumor in the street was NASCAR was for sale,
And who's buying it?
and there were buyers, and they were going to buy all the stock and all that kind of nonsense. Well, it wasn't totally false. Check out this.
Well, we know it's not Charles Wong, so go ahead.
He goes,
Continue.
he can't do it.
No.
In 1953, Big Bill France began planning the construction of Daytona International Speedway. He also formed a company called International Speedway Corp, and specifically for the purpose to separate the motorsports facility from the Stock Car Racing Sanctioning Authority. That separation may come to an end as NASCAR looks to merge with International Speedway Corp. International Speedway Corp owns 13 tracks with the top NASCAR series, the Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series competes on. This past November, the France family offered to buy back the outstanding shares of International Speedway Corp, which is a publicly traded stock. And they want to buy back the shares that the family does not own. The Wall Street Journal estimates that the buyback could cost NASCAR or International Speedway $1.85 billion.
Well, nobody sent me a letter about my shares, so I got to tell you that.
I didn't get one either.
I got nothing.
I think the amount that we have, we're going to be voted out anyway.
You think?
I think.
I run down to the bank every 3 months on my check.
Your 30-cent dividend check?
75 cents.
75 cents. Okay. Well, you have more shares than me.
I do. I'm rolling in the bucks.
So anyway, now this is Joe talking. Does this deal make sense, and why? Well, here's what I
On
think.
paper, yeah.
You know, International Speedway Corp and NASCAR already operate as a single company, although they're technically not. Both are headquartered in the same building on International Speedway Boulevard, right across from the Speedway. Both companies are led by the France family. Jim France, son of the late Big Bill France, serves as chairman and CEO of NASCAR after Brian France decided to take a vacation in Sag
Decided to
Harbor.
step down.
And Jim is also CEO of International Speedway Corp.
There's a conflict of interest,
I'm
I think.
thinking both companies would become a private entity with no public trading of stock. Now, I worked for a company that did that we were privately owned since, and there's those who got worked at UPS. And what happened was the Casey family, Jim Casey and his brothers, owned UPS. He was having trouble making payroll during the Depression. He convinced his managers,
I will give you shares of the company. Don't bail on me. We'll get through this. So he created a private stock, which went from the 1930s to 1998. And what happened as a private stock, the board would sit down and say, okay, let's make the price per share $97.50 this quarter. It's $97.50. Let's do a dollar dividend. Dollar dividend. Because they had the money. Then they went public. And yes, if you were there that day and had stock, you made money. But what's happened is the stock has not grown since 1998, maybe a little. And they're riding the laurels of a 3% dividend every year. Well, as a privately held company, you can do whatever you want. You're not at the whim of the market. You have a bad quarter, everybody so. You have a good quarter, everybody buy. As a privately held entity, the France family could end up being the richest family in the world. So it makes sense to do that.
The question is, do they have the money to make it happen?
Well,
or are they going to just foot the bill?
I think they did until they had to pay Brian's legal fees.
Wait, you think it was that much?
Because that wasn't the first time.
Yeah, but I mean, we're talking money that they could have bought the whole town of Southampton. And just said, all right, you're in the clear.
Yeah, yeah. It's something I think that they have to do. I mean, even though they own the racetracks publicly, and they own the sanctioning group privately, and the sanctioning group is also, a lot of people know, is an insurance company as well. When you buy your license, you're buying an insurance policy. You know, your NASCAR license, but you can't gamble. You saw that one, right?
Yes, but I think what we're talking about is this. You know, it's a big chessboard. I think this is one of the moves on the chessboard.
Yes.
And who knows where it's going to go? Maybe as a bigger entity, they'll be able to be more attractive to somebody to buy it. Mm-hmm. Maybe as a bigger entity, they can go public and get more stock. I don't know.
Right. And one of the
where
things,
are they going to go next? What's the next step?
And Brian France, I mean, a lot of people make fun of him and things of that nature because we all have something, and Brian had his demons. But Brian was trying to expand the company. He was trying to get the company, International Speedway Corp, involved with other things. And Brian France removed the backstretch grandstands, which everybody thought was crazy, and put them on the front stretch. Now, it's immense because he wanted to buy an NFL team and play football on that grass, where there was more than enough room, but between the Trioval and Pit Road.
Well, they did that before.
Right, they did that years back in the day. But NFL Properties is very profitable, and he thought that would, if they bought into a team, and I believe it was the Carolina Panthers that he was going to bring down. But he started doing things outside of racing, and the family wasn't liking that. And in some cases, he hurt the business with sitting down with his people and rule changes and having people in there that, as the late Walt Etzel used to say, didn't have grease under their fingernails. They didn't build them, they didn't race them, they didn't wreck them, and they didn't put them back together. Right. They just looked at them. How much we make?
How many widgets we got there?
Yeah. You know what? We don't need 43 officials on pit road. We need like 6 in a trailer in the dark, and they could watch it on TV. And this way, the crew chiefs can't yell at them either. And was he making wise business decisions as a racer? I don't think so. As a bean counter, maybe he did.
Maybe he did. Well, see, I think one of the, and I don't want to open this can of worms in this, at this late hour, but my thought, and we had the discussion amongst ourselves, that where are we going with this?
Right. Yep.
I mean, you've got so many cars out there, and believe me, racers are racers. I know Ford, Chevy. Oh, by the way, we race Toyotas. But I mean, Honda, Hyundai, all the rest of these. I'm getting the figure already. Yeah. So it's like, how many cars are out there? How many other, manufacturers are there? But yet, I don't know about everywhere else in the world, but we drive down the road here in Long Island, and there's not a Tuesday or Wednesday, a Thursday or Friday night where there's not a parking lot by an Applebee's somewhere where there's 40 cars that are all imports.
Yep.
And the guys are out there with the hoods open and LEDs underneath. And
Playing music and
you know,
tequila.
yucking it up and showing each other their cars. And, hey, look at these tires I got. And I bought these rims. And look at this muffler. It's like 19 feet wide.
Yeah.
And it's something you got to think about.
Absolutely.
Are they coming to the track?
Yeah.
Are we really sold out enough?
Yeah.
Do we need to put more stands in for the kids that are coming to the track?
It's incredible.
They you know, maybe they like racing, but they got a Toyota or they got a Hyundai or a Honda or a Acura or a Nissan or whatever the case may be, right?
And my thing with the Toyota Camry coming into NASCAR, way, you know, I guess 10 years
Back
ago.
in the day was,
You know,
can't buy that car at the dealer.
No, there is no such thing as a two-door Camry. There's no rear-wheel Camry. And there's no 8-cylinder Camry.
Yeah, and the other thing, too, is that if they were really into it, they'd build a car that fits the race. But would they really do that?
Right.
I don't think so.
I don't think so. No.
They're bringing back the Toyota Supra, but they're not building a car that's going to fit a racetrack.
No.
You know, because for whatever reason.
Yeah.
So, I mean, what do you do with that?
The staff is telling me they're going on overtime soon.
Oh, that's it.
So there's one last thing I got to say. And it's we all have heard of Sam Bass. Sam Bass was an artist. He painted guitars. He painted canvases. He designed race car stuff. He designed racing uniforms. He passed away. Sam Bass, who was NASCAR's first officially licensed artist, passed away Saturday at the age of 57. He had kidney issues and diabetes issues. Bass was battling these issues for quite some time. He lost his leg due to his illnesses. And he was at the Hall of Fame inductions this past winter, and he was planning on being at Daytona. He painted the guitars for the bands that were playing on the infield prior to the race, and he lost his life. He's been going to Daytona since 1968. So our prayers go out to Sam Bass and his family. And I just happen to have 3 Sam Bass signed prints that I put in a tube and put at a friend's house so they'd never be damaged. I wonder,
wow,
now those things mean a little more. Anyway, I want to thank you folks for joining in tonight. Facebook Live, the chat room was a little quiet, but that's okay. Facebook Live was hopping, so thank you. And thank you very much, Chuck. As always, we had a good time.
Absolutely, as always.
And the racing will be in Atlanta this weekend, so if you plan on going down there, have a great time. If you plan on going anywhere else, please be safe, please be careful, give somebody a hug.
Don't forget, 333.
333.
Marty Himes.
Oh, yes. And
March 3rd.
March 3rd, Marty Himes. He knows we're coming to interview him, and we have some surprises.
That's all he knows.
That's all he knows.
Remember, spread the word. You'll see it on social media. When you do see it, share it out on social media, wherever you're from, Northeast, East Coast. If you guys have been from the island and you know who Marty Himes is, we're having a big together for him, and we want it to be memorable.
Yes.
Very similar to, you know, what they did for Earnhardt when he won the 500. Let's all line up. Let's shake this guy's hand.
Shake his hand.
He's 79. He's been doing this for 45 years, collecting memorabilia on the island. We got a nice plaque for him. We're gonna give him, and it's gonna be a big thing.
And the last time I spoke to him, he said, "Nobody comes."
Nobody comes.
So we're gonna come.
We're gonna come. So 3-3 at 3 p.m.
Okay. 3-3-3
at Eastern Standard Time. So yeah, come on down, and you know, it'll be a thing for Marty. Shake his hand.
Yeah.
Give him an attaboy.
Yep.
Something that we can do for this guy.
All right, folks. We'll see you next Monday. Give somebody a hug. Tell them you love them. God bless you all, and we'll see you next Monday. Good night, everybody.
Good night.